Alright boys, today we are doing Karachi. How is everyone doing? First of all, thank you for clicking on the video. Appreciate all the support and love. We're going to jump right into it. This is P1 on Karachi. Now the P1 has moved into this mid-cut by the tree plant area, whatever you guys call it, between the DVD and the old P1. And the main thing to remember is the primary spawns for red are here, and you have 3 secondaries here. And your primary for blue teams are here, and a secondary here. Now, what I want you to be aware of first thing right off the bat is that this secondary is where the enemy team will spawn if the spawns are split. A good thing to keep in mind is, it's what I do, is if I'm spawning here, I always check down the lane to see if anyone else is spawning or running out, right? This is where they would spawn if the spawns are split. Now, how can the spawns be split? Well, this line right here, this rough line right here, if all of the 4 enemies from the red team, right, go over it, it splits the spawns, and sometimes it will fully just flip the spawns. So if all 4 of them are above this line, they're gonna spawn primaries, and you might be pushed to secondary, or you might just be completely flipped. To block these primaries, to push them out to secondaries, you just have to play close to this primary over here by this area. This is for blue team. If blue teams plays around here, this blocks this, and this automatically blocks this primary as well, and then this will make them spawn secondary. Moving on to P2, these are your primaries for blue team. Again, this is secondary here as well, and a secondary right here, and these are your primaries for red team by here by broken old P3, and these 2 are your secondaries here. You do have a secondary actually right over here as well. That is very, very rare, but it does exist. One thing, again, keep this in mind: if it's a split spawn, right, this is where they will spawn. They will spawn this secondary. So whenever you're spawning primary, a good thing to do is just give it a good check here. The one thing I will say is I do like the new hard points. I think they're good. Alright, moving on to P3. For P3, your primary spawns are here. It's just this general area. There's like 5 or 6 of them. Primary for red team is over here, and you have a secondary out here. The one thing to keep in mind is on P3, it plays pretty much the same how I did before. Blue team, if you can push out like all the way out here by this tank area, this blocks the primaries, and this will make the enemy spawn over here, leaving them either coming down this lane or trying to go for a flank through this lane. Our long flank is probably not gonna happen, most likely, but these are your 2 main lanes to watch, here and here. Of course, I think that's pretty obvious. Moving on to P4, this is an interesting hill. Your primaries are in here by rug and laundry. Your secondaries are out here. One's in P3, one is back gas. Your primary here is just this courtyard area by the palace, and a secondary inside palace. Like this whole area, you could be fighting here, you could be camping here, and this does not block the primaries. They will still keep spawning here. So like I've seen a lot of people just push out courtyard trying to hold this area, and they still keep spawning here. The only way to flip it is to actually go inside and like fully block it to palace to flip the spawns. Honestly, a lot of people will just camp here and just kind of, you know, play lives there. So it works out if you can do it. Moving on to P5, your primaries are here, and you have a secondary here in the middle of the street, which doesn't make any sense to me. And your red team primary is over here and here. P5 is quite simple. It's a very mixy hill, not too much to worry about. You know, just hold the angles, play what you need to. I feel like this and these buildings here are very, very crucial for P5. If you can control this one, this controls this area, and it gives you a peek into this, and this obviously gives you a line of sight here, and you can, you know, peek out this, but you can also hold it back. So this is a good your money hill on this is definitely P3 in my opinion. With a good setup, it's very, very hard to break. Other than that, thank you for all the support and everything. Appreciate everyone pulling through. Thank you for liking and subscribing. See you guys in the next one.